Hey everybody, this is Bart Kotter. I've got some really important information I want to share with you. There's some really critical things that we've found that can make a huge difference in building your business, and that's being able to coach not only yourself but your team, having a good look at your organization. But first of all, I just want to start off by telling you that everything that we do is about supporting you and your business. In fact, our purpose statement is to build a massive global team of visionary leaders who are passionate about ASEA's products, culture, and opportunity, and who are driven to make a huge difference to the lives of others. So with that, I want to just get started. And what we're going to go over, as I mentioned, is how to fill in an organization coaching report. And this is really a vital step. So there's three. I've just grabbed some screenshots of this report and divided it into three sections. The first thing we're going to take a look at is obviously filling in your information, or of course, if you're going through this with someone in your downline, your team, you'll help them to fill in their name, what month it is, what rank they're at currently, obviously the year, the total number of associates that they've enrolled personally, and the number of active enrolled associates. So in other words, anybody that's placed an order in the last 30 days would be active. And then of course, what the current goal is. The next part, just going down on that sheet, this is a place where we can actually, it's a great place to just look in the mirror and say, have a healthy evaluation of where you're at in your organization. Look, it really doesn't matter where you're at. What really matters is what direction that you're moving in. And so this is a great way to track that success. So we're going to be walking through that. And then the final part is the bottom sheet of this, where you can really take an assessment of your business and where you're at. We can look at personal prospecting. We can score that on a score of 1 to 10, how your follow-up is, consistently working in depth, helping your team. Are you keeping it fun? And what are you doing in your business? So we'll take a little closer look at this as we get right on down. So first of all, I want to show you where to find some of this really important information and give you a little bit of a training on your back office so that you can really know where how to track your business. Now, the back office, this is something that I would encourage you to look at multiple times throughout the day. You really want to get familiar with it. It is your dashboard. It's your way to track your business and what's going on. So the first thing we're going to look at is Director 300 report. So if you just simply click on My Reports, you'll get this drop-down menu, and then click on Director 300 report, and you're going to have something that pops up a little bit like this. Now we've got some names just blanked out here, but you're going to click Show Report. And what's going to happen is everybody that you've personally sponsored is going to show up here. So this is a great place to find, people's email addresses, their telephone numbers. If for some reason, you don't have access to those, or you need reference to them real quick. So you can see exactly how many people you brought on. Now, if you take and double click where it says active right here, this is really good too, because that's going to be a place that will sort of all the people. If you double click it, it will sort by all the yeses at the top and no's at the bottom. If you click it one more time, it would sort it from the bottom to the top. So pretty straightforward here. If we just number these, we've got 1 through 10 of people, of active associates that have been personally enrolled in this particular example. So great way to look at this. The report, you can also sort by who's binary qualified. So the people you've sponsored, if they sponsored someone on the left and the right, we can sort by Director 300 legs. And we can also sort by the lesser volume leg. In other words, how many people have, in this case, there's 39 people in this person's downline that have 50 or more points in their lesser volume legs. So another way to track that. So it's a really valuable tool to use. Now, this is the organization coaching report right here. So the first thing that we're going to do, we just showed you how to find the total number of personally enrolled associates. Simply go to that Director 300 report, and you can count the names right there. Second thing is we've just shown you how to find the number of active personally enrolled associates. So once again, you simply double click on active, and it will sort those, and you just simply count those and enter that number in. And the next thing that I want to show you is how to find out what week it is. Now, obviously there's 52 weeks in a month, and ASEA counts each production week in sequence. So we want to know exactly what week that we're working on. So here it just says week 1, 2, 3, and 4, but on your sheet, you'll be able to type that in specifically. So what we're going to do is I want to show you another place that's a valuable tool to go into your organization, to fill in your organization coaching report, and that's the bonus qualification. So again, my reports, simply click on bonus qualification, and you're going to get a little widget that pops up that looks like this. This is really one of my favorite places to have a look and to really get a measurement on where the business is. So first of all, it's going to tell you exactly what rank you currently are during that week. Of course, at the end of the week, we start off at 0 again. And we just see how the volume is. Now, this is exactly the place where we see the week. So in this case, we're talking week 31 of 2016. Now you can see the little up and down arrow right here. This is good because you can look at previous weeks as well. So that can be a handy tool. Now the next thing that we can do is we can also click on this little area here, and this will tell you that, for example, we're viewing the rank of platinum next, and it would tell you what the volume requirement is. Let's say, for example, in this case, to be platinum, the volume requirement is 200 personal volume. So let's say if you only had 100 here, then this would be red, and it would say that you'd need 100 points. So that just gives you a measurement on where you're at. But once again, just go back to that. The point is where to find the week, and that's right there. So let's have a look a little deeper into this, and let's see. And the next thing we're going to take a look at is the dashboard. So actually, I'm just going to grab that little spotlight tool again because I like it. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the dashboard. And on the dashboard, this is a place where we're going to look at personal enrollments because that's the next thing that we want to fill in. So in this case, we've got, this is the current week that we're working on. This is the previous week to that, so we can look at 4 weeks back and the current week. So pretty cool way to do that. We can see that there were 3 personal enrollments there and 1 here. So when we go back to the report, we're going to go ahead and fill that in, and you can see right there. So there's a total of 4 personal enrollments for the month, and let's say in this example we've got 15 personally enrolled. So that's how we want to go ahead and fill in this sheet. The next thing, as we already talked about, the director, the number of active personally enrolled legs. Once again, this is a reminder, you go to the Director 300 report, and that will help you to figure that out. So let's take a look next at left group volume and new people on the left. Now this is really important. We've got a binary system, so we need to track the volume on each side of our leg. And so in this case, we're going to look at the left leg, or the left volume, and we're also going to look at group enrollments left. So this isn't just people that you personally sponsored like we looked at personal enrollments. This is the people that you brought on and the people that they've brought on and so forth. So we're talking about the whole team on the left side of your business. Again, it's a 2-legged binary program. So we're going to go ahead and fill those numbers in. And this gives us a really good look to see, hey, how is our business growing? Is it balanced? Is it growing? Are people sponsoring new people? How is that being tracked? Next thing we're going to do is do exactly the same thing on the right volume. So once again, there's the right volume, and we've got the group enrollments on the right so that we can see how our business is growing. Is it sustainable? So in this example, you can see that this person's business has a lot of business or a lot of points that have banked because their left side is quite a bit larger. So obviously they need to be working on the right side. And so if we look down here on the right, you can see, hey, they put in 5 new people. In fact, the right side's growing faster than the left. Once again, the same thing here. So so they're really focusing on building their business in the right place. And let's see, the next thing that we want to look at is Director 300 legs. Now, obviously, as we're building our team, We want to have a solid group of leaders that are hitting Director 300, then Director 700, bronzes, silvers, golds, and so forth. But one of the requirements, for example, to be at Triple Diamond is to have 7 Director 300 legs. Now, that doesn't mean that those are people that you personally sponsored. It could be in depth in that leg, but it's through a leg that you have personally sponsored. Doesn't matter if it's on the left or the right side, completely irrelevant. It's just how many people that you've sponsored that have created that. So here's where we find that. Once again, we go simply go right into the dashboard, and we look right here on this on the bottom. This actually breaks it down to how many Director 300s that you personally sponsored on the left or the right, and we can see that right there. So we just go ahead and fill that in, and then the next thing is Director or is Personal Group Volume 50. Well, let's see, just going back here to, the reason I added this widget back in here is I wanted to give you an idea of 2 places that you can really track your business. Obviously, the dashboard is one of those places you can see exactly where the volume is, but what I like to do is go in and track as the week is progressing, what's needed to hit the next level, how am I going with that. So when we do this, we can see exactly what level we're at again. We can see the week where we're at, and we can also track, you can go forward or back. So we could click this multiple times and see what it would take to go diamond, double diamond, triple diamond, and these numbers down here would simply change as we did that. Also, there's a little widget right down here on the bottom, and this would tell you, if we clicked on this, it would pop up 6 Director 300s, and we can see exactly who those people are. So, for example, to be a platinum, you only need 5 Director 300s, and in this case, there's already 6. So you can see that they've got the Director 300s, which would qualify for the platinum level, but they're just short the volume. So the other thing is we could click here or here, and it would tell us exactly who are the people who are active on the right and the left. So it's another way of tracking that. Now, on your home page, there's another widget that's right there, which is kind of similar to the one that I just showed you. It's another way of tracking this. Personally, I like the one that I just showed you, but this is another great tool to use that I want you to be aware of. So the first, as we have the platinum, well, there's the arrows up and down here. We can see exactly what the qualification is again. So in this case, to have platinum, there's 200 points. Let's say, for example, at director, from director on up to Director 700, it's just 100 points. So it just goes up from there. So it's green here because it's obviously qualified. We can also see that this is lit up. Otherwise, it'd be grayed out that we have someone active on the right and someone active on the left. And in terms of Director 300 legs, we can see that the stars here represent that 5 are required and 5 are in fact filled in. So let's say if they only had 4, then this star right here would be just a grayed out color. So it's filled in here. We can see that's working. So once again, this kind of just specifies the volume is there. Also, it specifies what I just told you, that we've got someone active on the left and the right. And then again, this shows the Director 300 300s that are there. Now, I've gone to a different screen just to show you something else. So let's say if someone was working to go Director 300, okay? We can see that they've still got 200 points here. So this whole widget is green, or this top little button. 100 points is required. They do have someone active on the left and the right, but you can see that they're 70 points short of going Director 300. So this would be in the lesser volume leg. So the way that you'd find out which leg that was is you'd simply go to the dashboard, you'd look at where the volume was on the left and right, and you could track that. So that's kind of an important thing as well. All right. So let's see. Yep. Just going over what I just showed you. Again, we can change this. We could see exactly what it would take to go Director 700, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and so forth. And this would show us exactly the same thing in this bar down here of what would be required to hit those levels. So once again, those are the two ways to track that volume. And I do like that bonus qualification widget. So here we are looking at a completed filled-in report. That personal group volume was the last one. This really just comes into play at the bronze level and above. You just need to make sure that in the qualification that at least 50% of your volume comes from more than just one leg. So it just, which is pretty much going to happen as you build your business anyway. You want to just make sure that you've got, as you build your Director 300s, that's going to help you to do that. All right, now, one of the most important parts of this coaching report is, and this is really critical, this is a great chance to, once again, look in the mirror and say, hey, where am I at? And just take a realistic look. Look, we all like to do the things that are easy. Doing the things that are hard is what sets us apart. So as you're doing this, or as you're working with some of your team, this is a great place to find out exactly where they need to sharpen the saw, as Stephen Covey would say. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to measure this on a scale of 1 to 10. So consistency and personal prospecting. Hey, how are you going and talking with people? And even more importantly, how are you in following up? Look, the fortune is always in the follow-up. So some people are really great at talking with people. They'll talk with anybody. But if you don't follow up, you're wasting your time. Look, that's where the professionalism really comes into play. So such an important thing. This is a place where you could talk about, hey, are we doing 3-way phone calls? Are you introducing people? What are you doing to are you sending them a text message, remind them about the webinar, whatever you need to do to follow up consistently. Now, the other thing is working in depth. So as you bring someone on, one of the most important things that you can do is to help them to succeed. So I really want you to create this vision in your mind of this snowball that's really rolling downhill and picking up speed and picking up momentum, because the truth is it doesn't matter who you know. It matters who they know and who they know and who they know. We want to create duplication. It's not what you do, but it's what you duplicate. So we really want to help everybody become successful, certainly to the level that they want to be. With that said, I love what Denny Robbins says. She says, run with the runners, walk with the walkers, and stop with the stoppers. So we're looking for the people that want to run, and we're working with them. And also, by the way, that can mean asking for referrals. We have a powerful technology, and everybody knows people that need to know about the products and the technology that we have. The other thing is rate yourself on joy and happiness. People want to be in business with you when you're having a good time. You want to have fun. You want to make this fun. So look, I tell people I'm not working hard at my business, but I'm playing hard at it. We have a blast with what we do. And yes, we put in time, we put in a lot of effort, but to us, this is really, we play hard. That's a great way to look at it. So the next thing that we want to do is say, okay, what are you happiest about in your business? And I've sat down with people, say, look, I'm looking at the scoreboard. I've got some zeros here. I'm not really all that happy. Well, you could be happy about what direction that you're moving in. You could pull out your list and say, what I'm excited about the people I'm adding to my list, the people that I've met. Might be excited about some people that you just brought on board. Might be excited about some product results that you've heard and seen. Whatever it is, find what you're really excited about. Celebrate your wins. The next thing is what do you want to most improve? Again, it's not where you're at, it's where you're headed. You want to focus on the results, and that's what we want to do is move in the direction that we want to. Thoughts are things, and just get real excited. So following up with people in the next 48 hours. Now, that would be a really important thing. We already talked about follow-up. And again, these are just some examples. And the next thing is you always want to put a little fun into your life. Can't take life too serious. And you could also mix up some fun with your team, people that you brought on board. How are you really working on building the relationships with those people? Because these are the people that we're going to build a future with. And the better that you can develop those relationships and create it fun, that's what brings the joy into the business as well. So, all right, new potential business builders identified this month. Now, this is a great thing that what I like to do is I'll ask people, I say, look, of all the people that you know, I don't care whether you've actually sponsored them into your team or your business, maybe there are people you haven't even talked with yet. But I want you to think of all the people that you know. Who would you really enjoy working with? Who do you know who's switched on, who's self-motivated, who's ambitious, people who you really are caring, compassionate? People who are successful at other things are typically going to be successful at this too. Maybe look at some people who have had some networking experience. And I'll ask people, who's the first name that popped into your head? Who's the second name? And we want to write those names down. Again, they could be people that you've already talked with, people that you brought into the business, but they don't necessarily need to be. So in this case, three-way phone calls with upline, we want to do that as quickly as possible. We're going to identify some names. We're going to talk about them. Hey, Simon here, he's got some previous MLM experience. Peter, he's an entrepreneur. He's not happy with where he's at. Suzanne, she's got connections in Asia. She's into health and wellness and really great. Here's another guy that I think could be really great. He's a chiropractor, obviously focused on health. So there's some things. Now I want you to understand the difference between a connector and a business builder. The business may not be for everybody, but there are people that have some fantastic connections. And everybody knows people that need to know about these products and technologies. So just remember that anybody can lead you to somebody who's really quite amazing. And we see that happen over and over all the time. So this is really, really a powerful tool, guys. The next thing that you want to do is, look, leaders are readers. We hear it all the time. And so what are you reading? I mean, here's an example, Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl. Another good book, which I'd recommend everybody to read, is Eric Worre wrote a book called Go Pro. Really gives us an opportunity to look at how to treat it like a business and treat it like a professional business. It's a very easy read and just solid nuts and bolts of how to treat your network marketing business like a professional. And what are you listening to? Now, one thing I always talk to people about is, are you listening to the charge-up calls? If you haven't downloaded the SoundCloud app, do it now, and then hit the little looking glass and type in charge-up call. It's all one word. Just bunch up charge-up call all together and follow that. It looks like a little scale or graph going up, and then you want to listen to those on daily. They're really powerful calls. So then what we want to do is you need to put down some action steps, and you also want to put SMART goals: specific, measurable, obtainable, goals. So plan and schedule daily activities the night before. So if it's scheduled, it's going to happen. So maybe write a list of, say, hey, maybe my goal is I'm going to write 10 things that I'm going to do the next day. So it might be 3 new people that you're going to talk with. Maybe it's going to be 4 or 5 people that you're going to follow up with. And you're going to listen to the charge-up call, and you're going to read for 15 minutes. So those could be some things that you're going to do, some action steps, for example. But schedule it. The next thing is that, hey, I'm going to utilize 3-way telephone calls between my upline with every prospect. I'm going to really use that as a powerful tool. It'd be a great thing. Also, analyze your back office reports daily so that you're really tracking where your business is and you're moving in the direction of what you want to create. Using the Genie to aid in follow-up process. Excellent tool. So, hey, guys, that is the organizational coaching report. And I'm really excited to be able to share that with you. I hope that that's a powerful tool for you to use. Really recommend being on top of that. And I'll just say this. The people who have used this tool are indeed the ones who have rank advanced in our business. So as we've gone through this, I could show you over and over the people who have reached bronze, silver, gold, platinum. They've consistently done this. It's really helped them to get over the hurdles, find those places where they really need to tweak their business. So just have fun with it, and just see you on the road to success. All the best, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.